Yeah, starting in year two, the schedule is going to be more home friendly for our fans. We were able to put together a home package of 17 regular conference games at home, with 18 being in our exhibition game. We're also able to bring a classic to Bird Ogden Arena, where we're playing a doubleheader with Texas, and we're playing on the at the end of the first semester on the island again. So we feel like we've done the best job we could possibly do to bring our product to the Valley as much as possible, and we're going to have a couple of home stands that fans will have an opportunity, especially right after our road trip to start conference, where we're going to have a 4-game homestand that will be very, very pivotal in our season. So pleased with how the scheduling came out.
We're pretty excited about our non-conference schedule. I think one of the most exciting things is we're going to get to play together on the island. When we don't get to watch our teams play as much, and he's got a really good team this year, a really good bunch of guys. So I'm excited about those 3 days on the island. That'll be December 18th for him, 19th and 20th for us. We'll be playing Boise State and Bowling Green, and then we have 14 home games, 15 on the road. But some really nice road Big 12 opponents. We've got to open up at Oklahoma State, Kansas State, and Kansas on the same weekend. So really tough competition. But then we have some mid-majors right here in Texas. We'll play Corpus twice, Houston Baptist. We're also going to play McNeese State from the Southland. So we have a really nice schedule. But I think the neat thing about this is with the WAC scheduling, it's taken us a long time to get it because we've had teams come in and a couple teams shuffle out. So just like Coach said, I'm excited about the WAC schedule. We get to open up at home for the first time in a while. We got New Mexico State coming in, and we're excited about that weekend. And then we'll finish up at Cal Baptist at the end of the year, which is a short drive to Vegas. So
Yeah, we're there as well. So.
Yeah. And another neat thing about this year's schedule, we're going to be able to play a couple doubleheaders in conference play and out of conference play. We'll talk more about that later. Hopefully it'll be a Bird Ogden situation on one of those. So we're pretty excited about that too.
A lot of good things happening with both of our programs. Both of us have put together a challenging schedule, and we're both looking to build on what we did last season. Hopefully, have more success than we did last season. And it's a good way, especially if we're playing double headers. It's just good camaraderie for our guys to be at their games and vice versa. So I'm really happy about that. If it was up to me, we'd play in league all double headers.
Yeah, me too.
I for that, I would be 100% in support of that, because it's just a good thing for us to be able to support our other teams.
When picking non-conference opponents, what are you kind of looking for? Are you kind of looking for teams that help give you good momentum heading into the conference season? What is it that kind of sticks out to you when you guys try to pick those guys?
Well, I think we try to do a little bit of both. I know that playing Power 5 teams is it's good for recruiting, but also you want to play the best in the non-con, and then get some games that are more mid-major type games. But both of us, he's going to play some big boys, Texas and
K-State,
Kansas State as well. So when you get to play the best in the top 20 teams in the country, you kind of see where you're at and what you got to improve on. But we love the challenge of it. It's a great opportunity. We're going to have Kansas and Texas here in the Valley next year on the women's side, a return game with Kansas from this year. So, and Texas, we played them last year. They're going to return the game next year. So to get the big schools to come to the Valley is pretty neat, and he's got them coming this year too with Texas.
Yeah, when I got into coaching, an old wily veteran coach told me the two most important things about being a head basketball coach is number one is recruiting, and number two is your schedule. scheduling is a painful, especially the non-conference. It's a painful process. Agreeing on dates, agreeing on where to start series. With the transfer portal and things like that going on, you can't really gauge how a team is going to be, and so people get very particular, and so this day and age, scheduling has now become more of a delayed process than it was in the past. So, you just got to pick through and figure out who's right for your team and where you want your team to be at. We opened up our first game on the road at K-State. It's a place that I used to coach at, and I haven't been back since I left. So for me, that's a trip that I'm looking forward to go to. We got Corpus twice, so and it's early, and they're an NCAA tournament team from last year. And then we're going to play back-to-back home games and right before Thanksgiving in Bert Ogden against Western Illinois and Northern Arizona. And so, the Monday night game is going to be a doubleheader with Texas. And so I'm expecting to see the largest crowd to ever watch a sporting event in Bert Ogden for that deal. And then we got a neat deal the Saturday after Thanksgiving against Texas, where they're going, and we're going to play in I think Gregory Gym, whatever that name of their old facility is. So they're kind of doing a throwback deal. I would be the cooperation of the University of Texas to give those guys praise and compliments to come down here, to give up a home game to play here. That, to me, that's important. So I want to thank Chris Beard and their administration for doing that. And then, they've been able to also help us in other ways with our scheduling. So scheduling's hard, and then you start talking about the gauntlet of the WAC. You got 13 teams, 18 games, and if you look at it from the first game to the last game in a totality, you look down and you go, where in the hell am I going to win a ball game as a coach sometimes? And if you lose one, you go, where the heck's my next win? And so it's one of those deals that I've said this, I don't care what conference you play in, the conference you are playing in is the best conference in the country because that's the conference you're in, and every game is hard. So I expect every one of our games to be from top to bottom. I think the parity in the league is going to probably be as good as it's ever been.
We saw what Texas did with baseball when they came down, and you kind of alluded to it right now, but just to have a school like that with a name like that to be able to come down for basketball fans, just how big of a deal is that?
It's huge. It's a huge deal because, number one, my friendship with Chris has gone back for a long, long time. I think now the University of Texas is realizing how valuable the Valley is, how much there's people on the board at Austin. There's dual fans. There's a lot of Longhorns down here. I think they starting to realize that it'll pay dividends for them down the road as far as donors and things like that in an area that when probably 20 years ago got overlooked, and now the Valley's not getting overlooked. We're starting to be looked upon as a place of that's vibrant, that's growing, that is a part of Texas that is the kind of the unexplored territory that now people are starting to want to explore. So it's a good time to be down here.
Well, for you coaches, how does it change for you from a scheduling standpoint now that the WAC has decided to reseed the teams based on the strength of schedule and how you guys do your non-conferencing schedule?
Yeah, I think it's very important for the league to, we want that RPI of the league to keep growing. We want to be a two-bid league with the NCAA tournament, so I think it's very important to schedule like Coach has and like we have to get the quality teams and to get as many Division I games as we can. And, you know, in turn, the rest of the league's doing that as well. You'll see on everybody's schedule, there's a lot of Power Fives out there on the men and women's side that we're playing. Certainly top 25 teams all across the board. Like Coach said, there's a lot of parity. This is the best the league's been in the 5 years I've been here. And it really helps having the other Texas schools, not only for recruiting, but for scheduling. You know, we get to when I first got here, we were the only school in Texas. And now the WAC, we have, 7 schools this year?
Something like that, yeah.
7. So it's pretty exciting to get to play in good markets and get our brand out there. And so the WAC, the Texas schools in the WAC are very important to us.
Just a small add on to that. I mean, you know, we're going to be doing something that's outside the box. Our league is thinking forward. They're using math to determine seeding at the end of the year. I know you'll talk to some coaches probably don't like it, you know, because the regular season champion has proven that they are the best in the league for the regular season. But you know, the NCAA tournament committee, they look at your season as a whole, and you know, you can go out and play a schedule that's more conducive to winning and get left out of the tournament when it comes down to maybe being an at-large team or whatever. And that's what we're progressing towards trying to be. And you know, the only thing I can control is how my team performs on a day-to-day basis. I'm not too worried about it. You know, if a team gets seated ahead of us because of a schedule deal, it is what it is. I'm scheduling towards what I feel like is best for my team.
Brian, do you have any additional questions?
Yes, so for Coach Lord, Classic returning, what are your thoughts on the way the Classic has been building and the 4 teams that will be playing this year?
Yeah, we got a tremendous field. We got a newcomer. Texas A&M Commerce is going to be the tournament host with us, and we'll play the other 2 teams, Boise State and Bowling Green. Both really good programs traditionally. But yeah, we love playing at South Padre. We want to engage in the Lower Valley. It's an initiative of ours, and we're going to continue, both of us, to play down there. But what makes this year special is we get to play at the same time, which I think is very important. I think we can get some big crowds and support both the men and women's team in the same week. So it's an exciting time. We're I think this is year 3 now at South Padre, and we're going to continue to play there every year from as long as we're here, both of us. So, and Chase loves going down there. It's an initiative. So we want to make sure our Brownsville campus gets represented, and those students have a chance to come to our games as well. But really, it's just about Cameron County and the community in the Lower Valley.
Thank you.
Kyle?
This is for both of you. You talked about the double headers that you got. Just how nice is that?
Recording stopped.
Can you guys hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yep.
Okay. Just how nice is that for the fans? I mean, the fact that you get to play a women's game and then a men's game, and they get to see both squads and so forth. I mean, that seems like a win-win for the schools and for the conference as a whole.
Yeah, I think so, because you know, it will turn some of people who are just women's basketball fans onto a flavor of our team, and vice versa. Some people may be fans of men's basketball and they get to see a quality women's game, and so I think it just helps both of our programs grow. You know, the one thing is it's about the student athletes. And, you know, as a student athlete, when you run out and you play a game, you want to see fans. You know, no one likes to play in a building where all you see are green seats. So it's much better to see human beings in those green seats and just look around and see green seats. So it helps both of us, because it'll bring both fan bases to one event, and it will help grow. In my opinion, it helps grow the sport, because you're also talking about families who have young children and whatever. It's the best show for your money in the entire valley.
And just to add on to that, I think our season ticket package is both men and women, so which I think is a great idea. And so you can, if you got men's season tickets, you got women's season tickets, and vice versa. So it's going to be good.
Matt, I got one other question for you. You get Chicago State in January. I mean, they're an old WAC foe. I love that that's going to be played. Like, how did that come about with Gerald Gillian up there in Chicago?
Well, I'll give him credit. And I give our league credit because I wanted to add one more home game, and it's kind of hard scheduling, as I referred to, about trying to get teams to come to the Valley and play. And so, with Chicago State exiting the league, they were looking for games in January and February, and our league accommodated giving us an open date to play that game. So Gerald was real easy to convince to come and play. They're actually going to be playing a couple of teams in the WAC during our bye weeks. So we're still trying to support Chicago State as they go through their transition. So I'm happy to kind of have 1 week where we can kind of break up the league monotony and get to play them.
Everybody good? Awesome.
Thank y'all.
Thanks.
Actually, I don't know if they can speak on it, just some of the updates going on with the facilities.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to see the improvements going on here, just what does it say about the growth of basketball at this university?
I was just having lunch with a booster about it, and Lane and I are kind of getting in on it. Lane's been here longer than I have, but the attraction to this place was the future, how this place is growing. When kids come on the visit here, we haven't lost many that get down here, and because there's so many things to offer, and I know people love basketball because I go to the Vipers games. My son is in the 6th grade, going into the 6th grade, so I know every Saturday if you go over to the DHR building where they play, or Boys and Girls Club McAllen. I mean, there's people there. They're running basketball leagues, so I know basketball is something that is important here, and we just want to keep educating people and get people to understand that we are the Valley. UTRGV we are the university in the Valley, and we need to have the support. We need to put the product out there for people to want to come, but we are the school of the Valley, and we want to represent those people.
And the neat thing is that Dr. Bailey, his commitment to athletics is just off the charts right now, but you'll see in the next 18 months new soccer locker rooms. You're going to see new track locker rooms. You already see a new soccer, what's that called? Press box. You're going to see a new entryway into this arena that's going to be just state of the art, beautiful. We're going to have a new practice facility, which we desperately need. And baseball's getting a new clubhouse right now, and then hopefully here in a couple of years we'll have the big one.
And then can we expect your guys and your ladies to be physically stronger now that you have a new weight room?
Yes, I forgot about the new weight room.
Yeah, new weight room's already going to pay dividends.
Hey, how about the new restrooms for the fans?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, come on,
Yeah.
and all these new administration offices. Everything is it's going to continue to grow, continue to take our recruiting to the next level. So we're pumped up.
Do you want me to talk more about the weight room?
No, it's not.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Oh yeah, I didn't really answer that. Did I?